Hi everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depends where you are. This will be a very interesting talk today. I am very excited and very happy. Today we have a very important guest for the legal tech industry. We have Marti Manent today. He's a CEO of Derecho.com, which translates to law.com, and elabogado.com. Both very interesting projects in the south of Europe for a very long time. I'm pretty sure he will be sharing with us very interesting stories. And well, today will be one of those tech talks that we do, those talks from the Global Legal Tech Hub. I'm very happy to have you, all of you. My name is Alejandro Esteve de Miguel. I'm CEO and co-founder of Bigger Legal. Today, I will be moderating this talk along with Marti. Marti, are you there?
Hi everyone.
Hi, Marti.
Hi, Alejandro.
Thank you very much for joining us. So today, for this topic of marketplaces, we're going to have a session of 1 hour. At the beginning, we're going to launch some questions to you at any time. I mean, if anyone has any questions, they can use the chat here in Zoom. And so we will respect a little bit and try to focus on the Q&A at the end. But if I see there's something interesting, maybe I can use the time to introduce one of the questions in between your presentation. But this will be it. So we will start 1 hour. At the end, we will have a little bit of Q&A. And yeah, very glad to have you, Marti. Tell us, who are you and what brought you here?
Okay, I think that you invite me because I'm the CEO and the founder of the two large legal tech projects in the south of Europe. The first one is Derecho.com and the second one is El Abogado. And also because I have been in the legal tech ecosystem since the last 20 years. For me, it's crazy the last 20 years being in the legal tech sector. But for me, it's been a pleasure without realizing how much long we have been here. But it's a pleasure. I think I have a lot of histories to share and also my vision probably to share with you.
Maybe 20 years ago, I didn't even have the idea to become a lawyer. So at that time, were you a little bit crazy, or so what was in your mind? Did you, I mean, because you are, at the end of the day, you're a lawyer, right?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm in the Bar Association of in Barcelona here, yes.
So what's your story? You studied law and then?
Yeah. First of all, when I was in the high school, I used to create some startup. At that moment, for me, it wasn't a startup. It's only way to earn money. We just going to put papers in each house, like an ad. And that's the way when you are in the high school, probably in a lot of cities in Europe, that you can earn money. And after this, I need to decide what to study, which university to go. And I think that if I want to be a businessman, I don't need to go to a business university, because under my point of view, you don't need to learn to do business. Then for me, going to the business university wasn't an option. Then I thought, okay, I don't know what really I want to study, but probably law is going to be useful, because if you are a businessman, if you have some trouble, that could help you. And also because it's aligned with one of my biggest proposals, that is justice, that after a long time I have realized that the justice for me it's very, very important. But that's the decision to start studying law. After this, I was starting the practice that the last year of the university in a small law firm, in a small town. And then I realized that I don't want to be a lawyer of a small law firm, because for me was more being a psychologist than a lawyer, because probably you spend more time, Alejandro, listening one person for the big problem than practicing the law. and I decided, okay, probably I want to be in the corporation law or some kind of commercial law or transaction law. And I studied a master, and I started working in Garrigues. At that moment was Arthur Andersen, and I was there like 2 years. And after 2 years, I decided to quit. My father told me that, okay, you are crazy, you are living a very good job. But my decision was, I don't want to look back when I was older and see what had happened if I tried it. What happened if I just pursued my dream? The point was that when I was in Garrigues, I had already the one web page, and I was earning a lot of money with my web page. At that moment was jurisweb.com. And at some point, it was like at the beginning of 2000 that with a friend of mine, we decided to create Derecho.com, like a business. We incorporate the company, and we, with some friends, fools and family, we make some money and we start the project. That is the history from the beginning of my legal tech project and the beginning of 2000.
And nowadays, do these projects really exist? Are they contributing to the, let's say, to the wealth of the company, or did you have to change a little bit the project? What is the main focus today?
Yeah, at that in 2000, we thought that, okay, we are gonna sell online consultation, legal consultation online. Like, okay, you're gonna pay for something like 13 euros, and we are gonna give you like an answer on one paper, 2 papers about your question, your question, and also we're gonna sell legal forms. That was the beginning. After 1.5 years, we realized that here in Spain, we don't have highest speed internet connection at that moment. And then it's like, okay, trying to sell something through a very slow connection, it was crazy. After 1.5 years, we almost were bankruptcy. We didn't have money. And we need to do one thing that it's very common when you start a project. It's like, okay, what is your customers or your clients asking? And they were asking me to provide data privacy consultation. And I say, okay, if they want to pay for that, I'm gonna give that service. And that is the interesting point, because we keep the online part of Derecho.com, where we sell documents, where we sell ebooks, and also where we sell online legal consults. But we start doing some kind of legal consulting. And that consulting, that service, was the finance revenue for the product. And in 2003 and 2004, the online part was higher than providing services. Mm-hmm. And for me, that was the changing point. And for your question, if nowadays we are providing the same service, no. After 20 years, we have been providing different kind of service. At the beginning, legal forms consultation. Then we start providing online information like laws, because here in Spain was very difficult to access to the law. And it was a very interesting business, selling laws to other web pages that they want content. After probably in 2010, we leave that business and we start focusing in procedures. We understand that a lot of people want some documents, that those documents were in the administration and they don't know how to get it, and they ask us to help them. And nowadays, that is the biggest part, that registering trademarks, like procedures in the mercantile registry, in the land property registry, and also in other administration.
So, if I understand correctly, so you have like an entrepreneurial mind. It's in you.
Yeah.
Did you envision where you are right now, or it was more kind of, I need to do something, I have this knowledge, and I want to do something in the law business? And then it was more like the market took you where you are now. So is there something that you envision of what you're doing now?
What we are doing in Derecho.com is the plan for the last probably 6 or 7 years. And where we are right now, it was a plan. And for El Abogado, absolutely was a roadmap. That where we are in El Abogado nowadays, we plan to be here like 10 years ago. But sometimes you didn't know where your customers or clients will drive you, because you put some service on some options and they take it or they doesn't take it. And that is one thing that I learned after a lot of years in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, that for me, it's very easy to set up a new service or a new business. But what I have learned, Alejandro, and for me, it's very important, is as soon as possible, I need to know if that what I am doing is the right thing or not, according to the response that I have from the market. A lot of entrepreneurs, like me at the beginning, is like we are fighting against a problem that doesn't exist, or we think that our service is going to be amazing, but nobody wants it or nobody pay for it. And
what are you seeking here? To be just a normal business, or you're trying to seek like a good slope, like a good growth?
Yeah, okay. For the last year, we doubled the business. That is like this. It's like this. It's not like, and we have been like 2 digits growth the last 5 or 6 years, and in 2020 we have a 3 digits growth. That is amazing. And
do you think it's? I mean, do you think it's the market? I mean, do you think at the end of the day, or my point of view, at the end of the day, we are all in a wave.
Yeah.
So we're surfers of the market somehow.
Absolutely.
Right? You tried to find your path. It took you some years to find it, but at the end of the day, you're in a path. And of course, you have learned a lot that made you become a better businessman. But it seems that the last years have been the most the best for your business, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, was it too early?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It was absolutely crazy too early, Alejandro. Okay, I have child, and I explained like some weeks ago that your father at the beginning need to work doing everything just to survive. And this is a very important thing, that if you want to have your own business, probably at the beginning, you need to do a lot of things. And it's not like what you see in a podcast like this, that, okay, you are a successful business. Yeah, we are a successful business right now, but the way to arrive here, it's very hard, and you need to work very hard. And the last year, what we have learned, and is one thing that probably in the law school, we don't get that information, is management. If I need to point what is more relevant for our business the last 3 or 4 years, is the way that we manage the company, the way that we manage the business. And here we have incorporated some management tools or some management options that we have learned. And for me, the most relevant is the objective and care result, the OKRs. The OKRs, for those of you that haven't heard about it, it's the crazy way that Google is managed from the first day. And when you explain to someone that, okay, do you want to know how Google manage their business and grows so fast, and also Facebook, and also Netflix, and also Spotify, and also a large number of corporations and non-profits, and you know that they are run by OKRs, we learned that 5 or 4 years ago, and we implemented it, and it's a very good way to growth.
Also legal here. Thanks, Danny and Miriam, for the OKRs. Also working really well.
You apply, or do you use OKRs in
We do.
Okay.
We do it.
It's hard.
I think it's better. I mean, people are more, I mean, because we are transparent, it's not something for the management team, it's also for the rest of the areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, gradually introducing that and knowing where you are heading, and I mean, it's very healthy for the business. OKRs, for those of you that don't know it, it's very good. On point, Marti.
Yeah, I will recommend 2 books here. The first one is from Andrew Grove, who is the creator of the OKR. it was the CEO of Intel, is high output management. It's an old-fashioned book, but it's a very interesting book about management. And the second one is from John Doerr. It's Measure What Matters, I think. That both books talk about OKRs, and also in the Google blogs have a lot of information, templates, and tools to use OKRs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, another question I have, because you have been in the business for so long, and at the end of the day, one thing is growth, and another thing is VC growth. So, at what point did you join or invite a VC to your business?
Okay, we have like seed investment at the beginning. Then we just spend all this money, and then we have organic growth since 2030, where we have the honor to be invested by Caviedes and Partners. That is one of the most well-known and recognized angel investor, but it's like a big angel investor in south of Europe. He has invested in BlaBlaCar, in Privalia, and like more than 100 companies. And for us, it was a way. The first one is to have more money, because we previously have showed what we have done. We also have our previous investors. It's like a VC investment also with our previous investors that they believe in us again. And also to run the company in a more professional way. For me, was also a decision to professionalize the way that we run the company, like having more formal like board meetings, like more formal financial documents. For me, it was like, okay, we want to jump, and it was a good decision, because where we are at this moment, it shows that it was a correct decision.
And what do you think Mr. Caviedes saw? What made Caviedes fell in love with you? Was it the philosopher or the numbers guy? I don't remember what the name of them,
yeah,
but I know one of them.
Yeah, one interesting information about my the partner of the fund of the VC that it's in my board is that he's a philosopher, but also he's one of the most well-known,
very intelligent guy.
Yeah, and but for me, he has a very clever mind, but also he's focused on the basics of the business. A lot of people, it's like, okay, you are in a startup, you need to do this, and then he's more like a businessman. He also is a teacher in an MBA university here, that it's CS, that is probably one of the most well-known masters in the world. But also he also is it's like, he is in the board, he is not managing the company. And that is very, very important, because a lot of board members, they want to decide what to do in the company, and he's in the board, and he's for like the strategic decision. He's not for the day-to-day management. And for me, it's good for us, because we run the company day by day, and he's more focused on the middle and long term.
Excellent. We haven't talked about marketplaces, because I wanted to. I mean, I have you. You're an entrepreneur from the legal tech, elabogado.com, and I don't know. I think it was for value of the people here to talk a little bit about your transition from a lawyer. There's not many lawyers that decide to quit their job and join. More and more, we are a few of them, but more and more this is happening. But I mean, I think it's interesting for those lawyers that might consider to do this. What do you think? Do you think what's the image of an entrepreneur, and does it match reality?
Okay, we could have, like, first of all, the first part of your question is when to leave the law firm. Okay, when do you need to leave the law firm? Probably for me was very easy, because I was young, I didn't have any child, I only need to pay my rent. and that's it. And if I don't go on vacation and I only go to with my friend, for me was okay. Once that you have child, that you need to pay a rent or a mortgage, wherever, and you go to vacation and you need, okay, now I'm going to become an entrepreneur. Probably you need to sacrifice a lot of things before your success. But if you read a lot of interesting information about when to start a company, you can start a successful company when you are in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, on your 50s. Then no problem when you start. But I would say that it's more easy for me at the beginning, when you are probably in your late 20s. Okay. Then the second part of your question, I forget it, Alejandro.
It's a matter of, I think the press puts an image of an entrepreneur.
Okay, yeah, the image of an entrepreneur, yeah. Yeah, okay, being an entrepreneur, it's...
Those young guys that they quit studying, and it seems like, okay, looks like a good deal to not study at all and do something, and out of the blue, wow, you have a successful business and you are one of the richest men in the world. Is it how it works? How is real life of an entrepreneur?
Okay, I think that you need to work very hard, and also you work a lot because it's your passion. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that I have decided to work on this. And for me, working on weekends, for me, it's like, this is my hobby. And that is true, that my work is my hobby. And my hobby is a successful business. And I'm very happy, and I have a lot of luck to arrive here, because it's very difficult to arrive here. Then I'm very happy with all the team that was with me for the first day. I have people that is my partner, that was the first person who worked with us, and also I have the luck to have a very good team that worked for me. Then being an entrepreneur is probably having a team that work with you very, very closely, and you are very confident with this team, and knowing that each day you need to make a lot of decisions, and this is the way that works. Then what's happened when someone invites you to talk? It's like, wow, this guy looks successful because he's an entrepreneur. They don't have a tie, and wow, that's surprising. That is surprising. But for me, it's like, it's freedom, Alejandro. It's when you are an entrepreneur and you are successful, it's the freedom that you have.
But would you recommend this to your kids, for example?
It depends. I think that it's not for everyone. I think that is not for everyone, because at some point, Alejandro, probably you know that it arrives some days, okay, I only have money to pay 1, 2, or 3 or 4 months, but that is our responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the people that is working for you. And that is very hard. And when you go to sleep, you go to sleep with your problems. And then you don't arrive vacation, okay, I leave my problems, and because it's very hard. Then I recommend to be an entrepreneur for everyone. No, I don't recommend to be an entrepreneur for everyone, because it's very hard. But what I suggest to you is try it once and put all the efforts to try to success with your project. Then choose the project that you love. Don't invent a project that looks like that it's going to be okay. I'm going to make something like with blockchain, with cryptocurrencies, with big data, because that is fancy. That, okay, nobody's going to buy it. Then try to do something that you love, that it's your passion, and try that someone buy it. That is my recommendation.
Great, thank you, Marti. Let's move on to marketplaces now.
Yeah.
What is the value of a marketplace for a lawyer?
Yeah, the value of a marketplace for a lawyer is that he or she is going to receive potential customers. That's it. And some months ago, I was interviewed by a law blog, that they asked me, okay, Marti, what is the key to success of El Abogado as being the leading marketplace in Spain? And I say, I think that it's very simple, that we provide good potential customer to our customers, that they are lawyers. And that's it. It's like, okay, we can develop a lot of tools, we can develop a lot of fancy design, but after all, if we don't provide leads, a lead is a potential customer, a potential client for a law firm or for a lawyer, that doesn't make sense to be a marketplace. And then my question is, if you are a lawyer and you want to get new potential customers, if you need it, you can go to a marketplace and try to get it. We manage more than 15,000 to up to 20 each month, potential customers. That is an amazing, crazy number. And then we have a lot of business to share with the law community.
And what is your unique selling proposition in order to stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, we decided like 3 or 4 years ago to do not have any commercial person inside your company, and we don't have commercials. We don't try to sell anything. It was a point, Alejandro, that we decide, okay, if someone wants to join El Abogado, it's gonna be their decision. It's not gonna be like we pushing he or she to be in the marketplace. Why? Because you need to make some effort to be in the marketplace, like attending the potential customers. And then you need to pay us for those commercial customers, that potential customers. Then we don't want to push anyone to be in the marketplace if they don't want to be there. Why? Because it's very different that I invite you to join a community, or you want to join the community. That is very different. And we decide to do not sell. And the value proposition is, okay, you know by your friends or whatever that El Abogado is working, that you can get potential customers, and you try it. And that's it. That is the value proposition. We don't try to give you, okay, you're gonna have a very nice landing page for your profile. You're gonna have a lot of features. No, because you are here to get more business. That is our value proposition.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think is the major threat for elabogado.com?
Yeah. Okay. The last month I have been reading and listening a lot of criticisms about the marketplace, and I could accept that. Why? Because if you are not the leading one, it's very hard to create a marketplace. For example, a professional network like LinkedIn, you only are in one. You are not in the second one. Probably if, Alejandro, we ask all the people who is here, okay, which is the second social professional network? And I don't know at this moment which is after LinkedIn. And for a marketplace or a legal marketplace is more or less the same, that you are in one, you are not in the second one. Then it's very hard to build a marketplace. And the big threat is going to be that someone provides a better service than us. And what means provide a better service? Providing more leads to our customers for a cheaper price. That's a better approach. Who could do that? Okay, the second one in Spain now is in bankruptcy. It is a failed project. Then there is the third and the fourth. They are very small in comparison where we are. And a threat could be that like someone from the United States or from another country comes here, it's very hard. Once that you build the first one and you are the leading one, it's like in a snowball. Start going down the mountain and it's getting bigger, bigger, bigger. What we can do is make mistakes and be very arrogant and don't provide a good customer service, or putting the prices very crazy, or doing things in the incorrect way. The only threat are ourselves, I think, Alejandro, at this moment.
But there is those big guys there, and some of them are doing something for a very long time. Let's see, for example, Google invested in Rocket Lawyer. I think it was a humongous amount of money. I don't know, it's maybe 900 million, something like that. And those are marketplaces, and they have established in Spain also. And there's also, I don't know, Facebook, for example, did in the past marketplaces for other stuff, and others business are, well, if Facebook comes here, what is it going to be for me? What piece of the pie is going to remain for me?
Rocket Lawyer, I think that 1 or 2 months ago received a new round, more than 200 million from Vista Capital. That's a lot of money in the last 2 months. And that money is going to go to international expansion. They try already to be in Spain, for example, and also to be in France with a joint venture with Francis Lefebvre, but they fail on that. And that is very relevant. What you are asking me is what happens if those big guys from United States, they come here. They can provide a very good service, but if they don't like make it in the country way where they are going, they're gonna fail, because Rocket Lawyer already have failed in Spain and already have failed in France. Then what looks like is like there's gonna be an acquisitions and what it's called a build up or a concentration. That is normal in every market. What it's called concentration, because there's going to be one big player. We are also trying to do this in the United States for Latino markets. Alejandro, we are in the United States with El Abogado, for Latinos. Also, we are in Mexico, and also we are in Brazil. The biggest market is Spain. The second one is United States, and the third one is Mexico. But yes, that could be a threat. But they need to put a lot of millions to beat us.
It's funny because at the end of the day, you might be using Google to boost your business, and on the side, Google is competing with you. Isn't that a little bit, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, here is at some point we use Google. At some point, Google could hurt us, and at some point in the past, we started just building a community outside Google. That is one of the strategy. Also, I have been thinking a lot about marketplaces, and there are a lot of different kind of marketplaces. Netflix it is a marketplace. Amazon is a marketplace. Microsoft is a marketplace where a lot of people build at the top. Also, Zoom is a marketplace where people build around Zoom. Then, as a marketplace, the roadmap it's almost the same. You start building the community. When you have the community, you provide service provided by third parties. Imagine Amazon, and at some point, the marketplace understand that there is a service that can be provided by themselves in a better and a more efficient way. That means that at some point, we are going to go into providing some kind of service. Not all the service, because I think that the lawyers could provide better service than us in a lot of areas of the law. But for example, in a very stupid thing, small things, probably the lawyers, they don't want this case, and we can provide a better help for the user.
Rocket Lawyer does that, right? They do some self-service things for the B2C market, and then at the end, if you need a higher level, and you have a marketplace of lawyers, right, to have some advice.
Yeah, here there is marketplace, also Legal Zoom, also Abo, also FineLaw, also there are. It's very difficult to classify just one site in one box, and because a lot have like a subscription, a marketplace, they themselves service provider.
Just a curiosity, who was first, Brian Lee or you?
Who is Brian Lee?
The founder of Legal Zoom, a very good.
Okay, I don't know Brian Lee. I know I know the founder of Rocket Lawyer, and I created my web page. El Abogado was created in 1998. but without any vision. And
you're the first then. I need
I think so.
Time to sign a T-shirt for me, Marti.
but what is very important is to understand that Apple didn't create the iPhone since like 10 years ago, I think that, or 8 years ago. And now they are providing the iPods, and now they are providing a new tool. Now they are providing, and we need to reinvent. And for me, it's very interesting in thinking about Netflix. Netflix starting killing Blockbuster, and they kill Blockbuster just sending. I don't. If any one of you don't know that the case of Netflix at the beginning, they were just sending DVDs by a postal service, and then they killed their own business with a streaming service. What I mean is that you need to kill your own business. If you don't kill your own business, someone is going to come and going to kill you.
How are you going to kill your business?
I think that we need to understand in which way. Now we are disrupting the legal market in Spain, because we have the demand of thousands and thousands of users each month. And this is the disrupting part, that we, as a platform, we decide what this money is going. And what we think is that, okay, we need to understand in which way we can serve better the user. That means giving that information to a lawyer, providing a service by our own, giving a subscription, giving an insurance. We are in this moment.
Do you think you will see that as a CEO of elabogado.com, or you will have the pressure from the VC to, I mean, at one point you will have to leave someone else?
Because I think that I like the challenge, Alejandro, and for me it's okay. Now that we have that, we are going to do that. I want to share a history. In 2006, when we start making profit, for me, what was a depression, because wow, that's very boring. We're making money right now. And since 2006, we are a profitable company. Then for me, at some point, I need to reinvent and put some challenge in my way.
But it took you several years to reach this point, right?
Yeah, I think that minimum 4 years. The first 2 years, I didn't count this. The first, from 2000 to 2002, we were making crazy things. And
it took you 4 years. But I think the story of Brian Lee, in fact, for LegalZoom was almost immediate traction. Do you think it's due to the market itself? So elabogado.com or lawderecho.com would be different in another market?
Under my point of view, and the experience showed that each market is different. And the US market, I think that they are more open mind about new service. And in Europe, we are more classic about the approach to new services. What with the COVID, with the pandemic, what we have seen is like a 3 years or 4 year jump in the adoption of technology. And for us was perfect because we were ready. Then I see that we are going to the same situation that United States, that online platform is going to provide legal service in a very large scope.
And because at the end of the day, the market will differ. And if you go to the United States, I do remember switching the TV on and seeing lawyers being advised at the TV, like, if you have an accident, please call me. When are we going to see this? Are lawyers prepared? So how do you think their mindset have changed, and how is the future going to be for them? So how are they going to have the source of revenue?
Okay, the situation in United States against Europe, it was very different like 10 years ago, where in United States you can make ads if you were a lawyer, and in Europe, in some countries, you cannot make any ad. That's the first difference. And the question is why we cannot make any ad or advertisement about our service as a lawyer. And here there is no any normal or any understandable reason to protect the market against lawyers making ads or advertisement. The only reason was the big to keep the business, the lobby to keep the business. And the problem in Europe is that some lobbies that they are very strong, they are keeping the business. And when the lobbies are keeping the business, the innovation doesn't grow because there are limitations.
So is there like a law that rules that you cannot be advising legal services online?
You can do right
online,
now. You can do it right now. But for example, with public notaries, there are a lot of restrictions to access to the public notaries documents. Or for example, in mercantile registry or the land registry is the same. Why there are these lobbies keeping the information if this information must be public? Because it's more efficient with technology providing digital signature than a person keeping in their office that public deeds. What I'm telling you is that the problem in Europe is that some lobbies say that they want to protect the consumer. No, they don't want to protect the consumer. They want to protect their own business. It's like the taxi drivers. When the taxi drivers make a strikes because they don't want Uber or Cabify in the cities, it's not for the public because they are protecting their business. And we, the lawyers, we're going to become the next taxis, making, okay, I don't want the third part going inside our business. That is happening. Then I think that the innovation that Europe is going a little bit down than the United States is for some regulation and some lobbies that they are keeping part of the business.
Okay, so how do you see the future of marketplaces then?
Yeah, the future marketplace is going to be like, it's going to be more relevant as soon as the marketplace will provide more useful service for the user. And as soon as we provide this service, more users is going to be inside the marketplace. We are going to grow. We have managed more than almost 800,000 cases. 800,000 cases. It's crazy. We have managed cases. We have managed cases about like criminal case, like someone killing someone, someone that raped someone, and we have managed these kind of cases inside the platform. Then it's real, and what we see is that if we provide a better service for the user, they're going to be coming back. That is one trend that we see, that they come back. Not each day, but probably once every 2 years. And that is very relevant.
But what you mean is that you have access to technology, and technology at the end of the day is going to automate part of the legal operations or legal business. And isn't it going to be seen like badly from the lawyer perspective? Like if you are going to do something that was being done previously by the lawyer, how do you think culturally is going to be accepted or taken?
I think that the user, the consumer, is going to decide. If it's cheaper, easy, and faster, the user is going to decide to buy this service. And if a machine could provide this service in the same standard of quality for a better price, and also with a more easy way to access, it's going to be the market who decides if the technology is beating part or is eating part of the market for the lawyers. But I think that it's very important that the lawyers understand this. You can prepare a contract, a document, or you can use a template. Or the user can define the template or can build a template. or can build an end document, or a machine that understands the user can build a document. And nowadays that can be done. And then if a machine builds a document, not a very big and crazy contract, but a standard document, that it's more easy, faster, cheaper, and efficient. And if you can provide this service with this easiest, faster, cheaper, the consumer is going to take it. The technology plays a very important role in our business, and the people at Alejandro normally they don't understand this. In El Abogado, we apply machine learning for deciding which case we need to manage in first place. If one day at the beginning we need to manage like 100 or 200 cases, which case you need to take first? Because we call everyone to check that information is correct and to understand which kind of lawyer they need. And here we use machine learning, and the machine learning, the machine that it's called LIGS, that it's lead instant qualifier system, decide which lead is better. What means better? First, in 90% accuracy, understand what kind of practice law is. It's like a civil, criminal, tax, whatever. 90% accuracy. Wow, amazing. The second one is like, if there is a real case. What means a real case? For example, I want to sue the moon. That it's not a real case. Probably you have a mental problem, that's it. In a 60 or 70% of accuracy, the machine understands the case and decides that there is a good case. Why we know that? Because we manage all the cases, and also we understand that it's a good case. Then, if we have this technology, it's an advantage in front of any competitor, because we can provide a faster service. And in the 90% of the cases, in less than 3 minutes, we have managed the case. What does it mean? That if you start using El Abogado, probably in less than 3-4 minutes, you are probably in the hands of a lawyer. And probably in less than 5 minutes, the correct lawyer is calling you. That is like what we call is a wow moment. And a lot of people is calling us, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, we provide this service.
And so this has evolved, right? From the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a point where technology will replace lawyers?
The technology is already replacing the lawyers. For example, if you need to do your tax each year, your annual tax, that is done by a machine. There is only a lawyer that checks it. And it's already happening. That some lawyers, they don't understand that what they are providing doesn't add any value. And if what you are doing is you don't add any value, then someone is going to take that part. But this is not only for, a lot of people just think with like medium and small law firms, but also with big firms. They have a very big problem to provide a distinction between each other. Okay, what are we providing that is better than my competitor? And sometimes they are only fighting by the price of the service. But what your question is, yes, and already is happening.
Okay, thank you, Marti. I think we have to leave some minutes for question and answers, and we reach almost the time. So we have 10 more minutes. Let's say if someone jumps and asks a question to Marti. Let's use this time to do it. Okay, well, we have 2 questions here. Some more. Let's see. Francesc Munoz asking, what's your opinion about the new arrivals as meeting lawyers?
Probably they have a very good technology because they are using the technology of a previous company. My point of view is that they are going to sell insurance service. They're going to compete probably against Caparak, the international company from Germany. Also they are competing with Legalitas probably. And the good point is that they have previous technology. They don't need to develop technology. What they only need to do is sell, and also providing the service. But I don't know if they are good on that or not.
Okay, another question. Are you a legal tech, not a lawyer? What do you think?
Yeah, that is a good question. We are in the B2C legal market. What we say with the B2C legal market is that we have the demand of the B2C, and from Derecho.com, we are a legal tech company because we have more than 500,000 customers that we provide legal service online. And for El Abogado, it depends when we jump to providing services.
Great. Another question from Brian, very interesting. Considering that you offer disrupting technology that facilitates legal services, have you faced any issues with national bar associations in Spain or other countries?
Yeah, that is a very good question. Okay, I'm a lawyer. Then first of all, our company is run by a lawyer, and also in articles of incorporation, we have that we provide legal service. Then we are covered on this. We have had problems, absolutely. For example, it's very funny that in the magazine of Bar Association in Barcelona, where I am, they don't want to get ads from our company. I have asked them to put ads from our company, say no, they rejected it. And I don't understand. I'm a lawyer, I want to pay for it. And I don't know when, for example, in the magazine of Consejo General de la Abogacía de España, that is the Spanish Bar Association from all around the country, they accept our ads with no problem. And we need to provide some information in the marketplace that lawyer is paying something to us to be there. And I accept that it's transparent, and I accept. And then all around the world, for example, in the United States, we have a little bit different operation, because in the States you cannot prescribe a lawyer. We are not prescribing any lawyer in Spain or in the United States, but we need to take care of this, and we have our terms and conditions, and we take care of this. In each jurisdiction, you need to take care about the rules of the Bar Association.
Okay, another question very related to this. In some countries, I think, or I read that they even banned some online platforms. I think it was Germany, from the top of my head. For those predictive tools, also there is some conflict in some countries. What do you think about those AI tools that predict that some cases are going to be favored for some judge or something like that? So what do you think about it?
Yeah, it's a very relevant issue. That the first one comes in the United States, where in some first part of the trial, some counties, United States, each county has different providers and rules, and in some countries they use some software to decide if the person goes to prevent jail or not, if they go prevently to the jail or not, and they use previous cases. Then if the machine on the software is based on previous cases, and the previous cases then has some bias. Bias means that I look back some communities, like for example, Black community or Spanish or Latino community, then the software is going to say, okay, these communities are bad. And I accept that some software cannot decide if I'm going to jail or not based on past decisions. But what we need to understand is that if this kind of software is going to provide better service for the consumers, for the user or not. If we can provide a better service, I think that we need to accept, because that is the evolution, that is innovation, and that innovation is good. if we only banned this technology because we want to protect the business of the lawyer, I don't agree on that.
In some cases, it even was the judge itself that didn't understand, I think, how AI plays a role here, right? So it was kind of, if I place my trial here, I have more chances to win than if I do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a machine. A machine is doing something that the human can do, but faster, right?
Yeah. That's
so. Why ban this?
For example, it was a company that it's called Ravel Law. I think that was both. I think that was LexisNexis, and I know that the entrepreneur who found that company, and what that company did was taking all the decision from one part of the tribunals of the United States, and then you could know what kind of resolution that judge use for decide your case. Then when you present a claim, if you use the same information that judge like, probably you have better chance to win the case. In the past, you only know that if you are a veteran lawyer, that you have been fighting a lot against that judge. But now, you don't need to be a veteran lawyer. You only need to use better information, and you do that with technology. And if that is good for the user, I agree with you, Alejandro. We cannot ban that.
Excellent. I have one more question around, you told that you didn't try to sell something, but when you started your company, you even had to sell something, hadn't you? So
yeah.
How did you jump in?
Yeah, that it was I will explain the case of El Abogado. At the beginning, you start calling your colleagues when you were in a law firm, when you were in the university, and go, oh, do you want to join my new platform, El Abogado, blah, 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 blah. And they told you yes, because they love you and they want to be polite. But after all, they don't want to be in your platform. They only say yes because they are your friends, they are your colleagues, okay? When you start providing a solution that gives value to someone, that it for me is like the changing point. At the beginning, you need to explain, but when you say, okay, here is my new platform that we are providing new customers for you, and if a lawyer go inside your platform and use it, and after all, they receive what you are proposing, that's good. But if they don't receive what you are proposing, your proposal value, there is a big mistake. A lot of legal tech startups, or a lot of startups, they start making noise and making ads and advertisement before having a good product or service. What I have seen is that the better seller is your own product. The better seller is your own service. If you provide a good product or your good service, they're gonna buy it. And how you could know that you are providing a good service or a good product? With a KPI that it's called Net Promoter Score, NPS. It's what you see in some service that they say, okay, do you like our service? And it goes from 1 to 10, or to 1 to 10. Then you only pass if you are above 7. That is what it's called a cheerleader of your product or your service. And if you are there, if your product or service receive more than a 7, that it's like a rocket company, because you don't need to make ads or advertising, because your own users, they are your own promoters.
Thank you very much, Marti. Unfortunately, we have reached the time. It has been a real pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much from the Global Legal Tech Hub. For all those members, this has been recorded, so you will have access through the channels, and you will receive a copy of it, so you can watch this anytime you want. And yeah, thank you very much, Marti.
Alejandro, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much to Global Legal Tech Hub. And Albert, thank you.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.